I'm going to introduce someone. Are you ready? Excited? I hear a lot of no's. Coming to the stage next, Charlie Quaintance.
Yeah!
So a little bit about myself. I am the firstborn of 3. I had a little bit of an interesting birth though. My head was too big, so my mom had to have a C-section. My dad probably thanks me for that. It was actually my brother who tore that shit up. Yeah, my mom's bummed she can't be here tonight. I had my first kiss recently. Thank you. I liked it. I don't know how my uncle felt about it. I'm growing my hair out to donate, but my uncle also likes it because he's got something to hold on to. Doing me from behind. It's been a pretty weird winter. It's been warm and freezing, and we're still going. It's been warm, it's been freezing, and everything in between. One of those colder days, I went out to the porta potty and took a piss, and I didn't know your dick could freeze. But lo and behold, it can. Now every time I get an erection, it curves to the left. I don't know if that's a workers' comp thing or not. When I was driving here, I saw a license plate that said Nutman 2. Nutman 2. I mean, someone went to the DMV and was like, "Can I be Nutman?" No, that's taken. Can I be Nutman 1? That's taken also. Well, shit. I guess I'll be Nutman 2. Speaking of nuts, I saw a commercial the other day for some anti-wrinkle cream. I've currently only got wrinkles on one part of my body. I didn't buy the anti-wrinkle cream, but I'd try a free sample. See if that would work. See if I can get my nuts looking like a cue ball. My ex-girlfriend's dog got hit by a garbage truck. Which doesn't sound funny at first. But I don't know how you get hit by something that stops every 10 feet. Don't worry, that bitch is fine. The dog's okay too. My dad told me to stop telling jokes about sleeping with my sister. So I guess I'll just keep those private. I'm loving it. I used to live in Montana where I worked at a strip club called the Buffalo Jump, or the BJ. And I wasn't the bouncer or the DJ. I had a much, much more important job. You guys are laughing before the punchline. I was the pole cleaner though. And it was full nude, so you really had to get in there when you were cleaning the poles. I got really good at cleaning poles. If anybody needs their pole cleaned, I'm your guy. But I often cleaned alone, so I had to make up games to keep myself entertained. One of those games was Guess That Mystery Stain. Another one I played was Try Not to Get Pink Eye Again. Because twice was more than enough. You know, I think it's kind of like working at McDonald's, so once you work there, you don't really want to eat there anymore. And I didn't think it could get any worse than the Buffalo Jump or the BJ. And I went to a strip club in Milwaukee. Congratulations, Milwaukee. You guys did it. This isn't a joke. Well, it is a joke, but it's true. This strip club, one of the poles was a support beam. Support beam, you know those things that help hold up buildings? And as a professional pole cleaner, you know that's not up to code. You know, however, I did not get pink eye there, so I will give them that. Wish prostitutes were more like those video arcade golf games, you know, 25 cents a hole. Or 18 for $2. My parents were having their anniversary. Matt and Jerry both talked about anniversary. I don't have one, but my parents do. They were going out to a French place and they wanted me to go with, and I was pissed. Because I've been to this French place, and it doesn't have French toast or French fries. So automatically I was like, My dad finally said, if you're just going to complain and be obnoxious the whole time, don't even come. And I said, okay, done. And that's how I got out of the dinner. I wrapped my head in saran wrap when I was younger. Head and face. And my dad said, stop wasting it. I drive around with my suitcase in case I meet a Kardashian and things move quickly. I'm ready to move in. I like getting text messages from the wrong number. I got a text that said, hey Diane, this is Kelly. I recently broke up with Steve. I'm looking for a fresh start. Dinner tonight? I said, this isn't Diane, but I'm down for dinner. What time? No response, so I said, oh, and sorry to hear about Steve. Still no response. So later that day I texted her and said, hey, are we still on for dinner tonight? She said, stop texting me. I said, if I could just get a yes or a no so I could plan the rest of my day, that would be great. We didn't get dinner. Well, I like getting text from the wrong number, or getting text from the wrong number. I don't like sending them. I miss the old phones, you know, that had the loading bar where you could pull the battery out before the text went through. That's how I ended up texting my mom, hey, sugar tits. Right then and there, I knew I had a couple options. I could text her LOL JK, or I could just let her think I've got a really good memory from when I was a baby. I was looking through some folders and I found a referral I got freshman year of high school, and I don't want to misquote my teacher, I'm going to get it wrong, so. It was, during class, a student stated, this looks hard. And Charlie responded with, that's what she said. This has just been the latest in an increasing pattern of rude and disruptive behavior. Which that doesn't sound like me. But I remember that referral, and I'm glad I kept it, because when I got to the dean's office, the dean thought it was funny. He said you can't be talking about penises in class. So I got a 2-hour Saturday, but it was worth it. In one of my shows, my brother said I should go network with one of the headliners. He'd been on Showtime, and I said, "Psh, I've been on ESPN too." My brother was like, "For what?" I held up a sign that said it was my birthday. And it wasn't my birthday. So, I got ESPN too. I found out my buddy was gay at a sleepover once. Kind of the hard way. It's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and he looks at me and goes, "Let me suck your dick." And I was like, "No." And he goes, "No, come on, just pretend it's a girl." And I was like, "No." And I should have left the sleepover then, looking back at it. But I didn't know how to call my parents and say, "Hey, can you pick me up? Hector's trying to blow me." So I just stuck it out. And I'm a dick. But I'm a very heavy sleeper. I don't think I mentioned that. So I woke up in the morning and his hand was down my pants, all the way down. I've never been in this situation before, so I didn't really know what to do. So I just said, "Hey, what you doing?" He said, "I'm looking for your iPod." I said, "That's not my iPod." And we didn't talk much after this. And I don't know if it's because he never apologized or I never thanked him. One or the other. Well, the funny thing about Hector was he gives a whole new meaning to child molester because he was a child molester. Because he was a child. Alright, good. But everyone remembers their first blowjob. And I realized that your first blowjob is kind of like skiing for the first time. It starts off pretty rough. It'll only end well if you're there with someone who's done it before. Meanwhile, snowboarding is a lot like having sex for the first time. At the end, you realize it's not as great as you thought it was going to be. But I don't like blowjobs. I was scarred from an early age, and not because of Hector. My first blowjob, my first awake blowjob, I should say, was horrendous. And you know, some guys complain about teeth or cuts or whatever. You know, whatever. I take both of those. So what happened was she gagged and puked cheesy broccoli all over me. Yeah, and apparently she didn't chew her broccoli very well. I knew blowjobs could create a little bit of a mess, but I didn't expect this. So thanks a lot, Caitlin. And thank God for paper towels. You guys remember buying your first condom?
Yeah.
One person does. I was about 10 when I bought my first condom. It was a gas station that had one of those dispensers, you know, you put the quarters in. So I went there with my buddy, we rode our bikes there, and I got it, and a little box came out, and it was blue raspberry flavored. which frankly sounds delicious. Well, we were going to go to the woods to open it up. That was a little too slender, man. So we decided to go to the park, which I guess is a little still kind of slender man-y. I don't remember what we did between the point of opening it and we left it there on the slide. But halfway home I was like, frick. Because I was 10. We gotta go back. The cops can trace your DNA on that shit. My buddy was like, no, they can't. I'm like, dude, they can trace it. So we rode our bikes back to the park and buried it in the trash can. For 2 weeks we were sweating bullets thinking the cops were gonna show up and tell our parents we bought a condom. After one of my shows, some cougars, or mountain lions as Jerry would call them, asked me to go out and have a few drinks with them. And I thought, why not? What the hell? And I don't normally drink, but 12 Jello shots later, we were in the hotel room and I pulled out the Bible and I said, all right, I'm going to read a passage and we should reenact it. The Cougars said, how about we put the Bible away? And at one point I said to one of the Cougars that she looked like Beverly D'Angelo, you know, the lady from Christmas Vacation. And then the other Cougar said, no, she looks like Farrah Fawcett. So after I Googled Farrah Fawcett, it turns out she does indeed look like Farrah Fawcett. When I got back to my hotel room at about 5 o'clock in the morning, I plopped down on the bed and I told my friend I just had sex with a 53-year-old. And in the morning she was like, you remember saying that? And I was like, yep. It's not true. But I did see a boob. And I'm pretty sure it was Farrah Fawcett's. Doctors ask some weird questions, I think. You know, like, I got asked in the doctor's office, are you currently sexually active? And I said, not right this second. Do you have something in mind? And my therapist, she was like, do you watch an excessive amount of porn? And I said, I don't know, how much do you watch? So we skipped that question. I don't know what is excessive amount. If she's not going to share it, I'm not going to share it. Jerry touched on colonoscopies earlier. 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with Crohn's, which it's different for everybody, but for me it meant I shit blood like 12 times a day.
Yeah.
You guys can laugh at the health jokes. You can laugh at all these. Makes it easier. But, no, so I had to go in for my first colonoscopy, and people say prep is the worst part. It's really not that different if you're already shitting 12 times a day. It's pretty much the same thing. But you got probed a lot with this, or I get probed a lot with this condition by doctors usually. It's not the best feeling in the world, but it's not the worst either. So I don't know what girls are always complaining about. You got it? Okay. But no, I realized that doctors don't really have the same sense of humor as me, which is weird. Going in for the first colonoscopy, the nurse said, have you ever had one of these before? And I said, nope, not from a doctor. And they put me on these steroids which made me shake, so I called them up and was like, is it normal to be shaking like Michael J. Fox? They also didn't find that funny. Just so you know, it's not. But I was having trouble falling asleep, and I suggested chloroform. I was in the hospital. Chloroform put me to sleep, and the doctor didn't say anything. She just walked right out of the room. 10 minutes later, there was a priest and a psychiatrist in there. The doctors ask you questions like, what does your stool look like? You know, a little bit like Omaha Beach. Too soon? Getting a Saving Private Ryan, that's what I'm getting at, that kind of thing. Really bloody. Anyways, where was I going from there? First time I had to spend a few nights in the hospital, it got pretty bad. I went from thinking I was dying to wishing I was dead, so I finally told the nurse, you know, you gotta pull the plug. You gotta pull the plug in. She said, you're not plugged into anything. So here I am. About a year after being diagnosed with Crohn's, I had to get my entire colon removed. So now I've got the ostomy, I shit in a bag. And I knew I didn't just want like a normal one of those. I knew I could weaponize that shit. Literally. So I got one that's got like a squirt gun feature to it. I think it's better than carrying a gun. You can even do that same jacket lift thing, you know. Yeah, I'm packing. So John, I apologize. I am constantly shitting during the shift. Like the whole time. The doctors thought I should name it, which I guess that's what people do. So I did name it. I named it Peter, which is my brother's name. That's because they're both ugly and full of shit. But now I can ask people if they want to see my Peter. I've got a couple options. A few if my brother's with me. The first time going through TSA, it was the bag set it off, and I go, all right. So I pulled my shirt off, and the TSA agent said, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "I thought it would help speed up the process." And it did. So you're welcome. But with the ostomy, it's made dating a little bit hard, and that's partially my fault. It's kind of the first thing I tell people, shit in the bag. But yeah, my asshole is purely for recreational use now. That's an anal joke. But that's my time for tonight. I just want to thank Sunburst, John, Rob, everybody that put this together. You guys have been great. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you.